This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Good evening, ladies and gents, and thank you for joining us on another week of Movie Chats. I apologise if my picture starts to freeze. We're having a little bit of trouble with the internet at the moment. It's playing catch up with me. I hope you've had a good week, and as you can see, my co-host is late or not arriving. I don't know what's going on. He's not messaged me. Say hello to whoever's watching and whoever's in the chat. Today we've got some movie news for you, and I've got a couple of good little pickups that I want to share with you as well. Speak of the devil, he will appear. There he is.
Sorry, buddy. I was having problems logging into my Mac. I couldn't figure out what the password was.
You're not the only one, mate. I've had issues with the internet here this afternoon, so if I freeze, that'll be why. Little Steve, how was your week, sir?
It's not been too bad. I've been at work, but the weather's been crap anyway, hasn't it? Either way. So it's not been too bad. But first day off today, so just trying to relax a little bit.
No, good stuff. Yeah, not been so bad. It's been a nice, relaxing week. I think having Bank Holiday Monday off has helped. All I've got to do now is get to 3:00 tomorrow, and then I'm off for 2 weeks.
Don't even start. I saw your message earlier. I was like, 2 weeks off. Doesn't seem like fucking 2 weeks since your last off.
2 weeks holiday.
Unbelievable.
So I won't be here for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Hey, Michael. Hey, Lane. Right. All right. Well, I'll see if I can steady the ship and try and get us back on track.
I put the link into our messenger group, so people can come on for the next 2 weeks and come and keep you company. I'm assuming Michael and AJ will come on when I'm not around, and that seems to always happen. They're always free when I'm not here.
Well, it's because you're always not here. That's why.
So good evening, Michael. Good evening, AJ. Thank you for joining us both. Yeah, so it's been good knowing that I've got 2 weeks off. And then did you see the big parcels I've had arrive today?
Yes, I did.
You wouldn't think that that's a mini bonnet, would you?
No, it doesn't look that way, does it? Is it a 3D printed one or something?
I'm trying to figure out what size that parcel is compared, and what size the bonnet is and where it actually fits in that parcel. I don't know.
So when are you going to have a chance to work on that then?
Saturday.
All right, okay.
Yeah, we go away next Wednesday. Next Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. So I've got a few days next week that I can work on Ted, get all those parcels out, get them looking good, and then I can put them in the Monster-in-Law's garage for 2 weeks. Then.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
So there is a plan.
There is a plan.
Like I could see that you were working hard today.
I always work hard. I just multitask. We've had issues with the internet here, so I couldn't get onto Teams on my laptop. So I had to
that's coincidental, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to use the Teams on my phone while I was working on the laptop, and then I had Chris on whatnot, and then I was on my personal phone as well today. Yeah, it's just been bonkers. I've had like 4 devices going just to keep working today.
Do you know what the issue was, or?
I think we were just having the router was having a meltdown, having a dicky fit. But we're all right. We've got there in the end. Right, let's get the elephant out the room. I've spent another week trying to find this bastard Phil.
Yeah, it's not happening, is it?
No.
Sorry, guys. That's that one done then.
Homework done.
If it was always that easy. I'll tell you what, though. I do want to. I sat and watched a film this week. That I was sat here last week, and I've been after a film for about 6 to 8 months, thinking I need to buy it. I need to pick it up. I need to watch it. And I was sat here. I couldn't. Every time I go to CEX, or I don't see it, and I was like, right. Anyway, I sat here last week doing the show, and I'm looking around, and it's on my bloody shelf. I'd already bought it, right? So I was like, right, that's it. I am definitely going to sit and watch this bloody film, and it's Midsummer, right?
Right.
Now it intrigued me because, the director on it is the same person that did Hereditary. So I know it would have a bit of a twist in it, and I figured it was like the modern day Wicker Man sort of like vibes to it.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I watched it. It got what's her name in it? What's she called? Does it say Florence Pugh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I'm definitely going to watch this. And it's one of the most bizarre movies I've ever watched. I mean, The Wicker Man is bizarre, don't get me wrong. But this one, what annoys me is a lot of these movies, they leave you on a cliffhanger, like you could think either way. Like this, it just turns to black. And it's very much in the same ilk of that. But it is such a weird film. It is the director's cut. So I don't know if the original was any easier to watch. But the director's cut is...
Speaking of the Wicker Man rip-off, we tried to watch the series The Red King.
All right.
It's on Alibi and on demand, right? And it is literally The Wicker Man in a TV series.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but when it's literally scene for scene.
Yeah.
She walks into the pub where she's staying, and then there's a strange person in the bedroom, and it's like, right, okay. So that's from The Wicker Man. Then you're seeing all the pictures on the pub walls, and you're like, right, yeah. So that's from The Wicker Man. The series itself, she's tracking down someone that's gone missing a few months earlier. So that's The Wicker Man.
And did you buy him gingerbread truck?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's in the one set, mate. It's in the above the oven.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is The Wicker Man scene for scene, but instead of it being a male policeman, it's a female policewoman, and I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into the Wicker Man films. Never mind the series. It looked quite good as well when you watched the advert for it, but
see the Wicker Man. I enjoy the movie, but it's because when I first saw it, it sort of intrigued me because it's such a bizarre movie. Like some of the scenes of it are very much of its age. Like they must have been on something when they were filming it, sort of like there's sort of like a psychedelic sort of feel to it when it some of the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's always intrigued me. Plus, you've had like big actors in it. I mean, the Nicolas Cage one is not great, but the original one, it's very much of its time, and I think that's why it was so weird to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will get it, some people won't, but that was why I was so sort of adamant I wanted to watch this particular movie, because I was like, this seems very much like almost a remake about it. All right, thanks, AJ.
She wasn't due to be in that, was she?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is,
wasn't there a bit of thing about her not actually meant to have been in it?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I'm not ruining the movie, but it starts off really strong. So you go into it, and she's worried about a sister that's she's on the phone because she's worried about a sister who's bipolar, and she'd left a bit of a mysterious message saying something that would make her worry. And then literally within about 5 minutes, you find out that the sister has killed herself and her mum and dad. And it's like just a life sort of starts to spiral out of control a bit, but you can see that she's got her own issues. And then her boyfriend, who incidentally at the time his mates were all saying to him, "You need to split up with her," and I think he's of the mindset that he's going to end this 4-year relationship, and then this happens where with the parents. So she then finds out that him and his mates are all going on a summer vacation to one of the families of the pair of one of the lads. So she gets sort of invited. He invites her, much to the dismay of the other guys on there. And then that's sort of where the story starts. But yeah, it's definitely an intriguing movie. There's a couple that the director's done that I haven't seen, so I'm going to try and watch them. But it's just that sort of cult-esque sort of feel. I actually enjoy watching those sort of movies, and that brings me on to my next point, which is the this. Have you seen this Dancing for the Devil?
No,
it's come out on Netflix. To be fair, it's only been on there like a day or so.
I don't mean to be rude and interrupting you. The Wolverine popcorn bucket looks amazing.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, Michael's just put their thoughts on the Wolverine popcorn bucket. And you know how upset I was that I couldn't get my hands on the Transformers one recently.
Yeah, you were devastated, weren't you?
I was devastated. No pun intended for the Transformer devastator. But look at that.
Well, you're going to have to go and watch it now, aren't you?
I am going to have to go and watch it. Anyway, sorry. We'll come back to that. Sorry, Steve. You were talking about Dancing with the Devil.
Yeah, so there's this dancing. I think it's Dancing with the Devil or Dancing for the Devil. I think it's Dancing for the Devil. But this, I mean, obviously, I'm not on TikTok, but there's this family, the Wilkins or something.
Yeah.
And there's these two sisters, and apparently over the pandemic they made it massive on TikTok and places like that, doing dances. And then one of the girls ends up getting together with a guy, and they end up being in this, what's it called, 7M, which is they say it's an agency for media for dancers on social media and stuff like that.
Right.
And it so happens that the person that's their manager on this thing is he's part of a church. I forget what the name is. It begins with an S. And this church is sort of linked to this thing, but it's really interesting. But it's about 3 episodes in, something like that. Hey, Lin. It's about 3 episodes long, but it's going on about how this cult is still sort of going on, and it ends up splitting the sisters up. And this one of the sisters ends up going and getting married to this guy, and it's one of those, I've said millions of times on this channel that, if it wasn't for Netflix and places like that, you wouldn't know about half of this stuff that happens in America. It's always America, and I don't know if this is going to have one of those. It's like, obviously you've got like Mr. Bates versus the Post Office and things like that have sort of kicked off a sort of response from people. I don't know if that's going to have the same effect with this in America, because it's still going on to this day that this church is related to this thing. I mean, it can't be. I know. There's no such thing as bad press, but like a lot of these people are sponsored by brands, for the social media sites. So it'll either blow them up or it'll do the opposite, and they'll be like, right, well, we don't want to be associated with this church, and it might end up getting rid of it. But it's amazing how much stuff's happened and the police won't do anything about it.
Yeah. See, Michael's saying there that TikTok's responsible and brought life back into shows. You can't go on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that without getting shorts or
from a TikTok
or clips or something of a show, and that it's like when you put films on it, you get like a minute worth of a film, and you're like, "What film's that?" And then you spend all day trying to find out what bloody film it was.
Yeah.
And then you realise that that's the best minute of the film.
That's of the film.
You wasted an hour and a half watching some shite just to get the 60 seconds of the film that you see on the clip to see how it ended.
You know what it is? There's one There's one that I get quite a bit, which is like I think it's like an advert for I want to say a podcast or something like that, and it ends up being it's like a filmed scenario, and it's terrible acting, it's terrible production. It's about 20 minutes long, and then it's like a chapter. It's like episode 1 of a fucking podcast, so you never actually figure out what's going to happen. But I end up sat there going, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this now. But the clips thing is very true. You get that so often with like 80s and 90s movies.
Yeah,
you're like, hang on, which bloody movie? What movie is this from?
Yeah,
I've got a couple in the collection that I've actually bought off the back of that.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, thanks for joining us. Hey, Linlin. So I've watched. I've been watching The Expanse again. I've started that.
Oh yeah.
Again. I've been watching Young Justice on Netflix, the cartoon, and you know what I'm like from the cartoons. And I've watched 1.5 films this week on Netflix. So I've
1.5.
1.5.
Wow.
Now I've watched Atlas, and if you know, I've put the review out for Atlas, and I try not to spoil it. But I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing the nods to films like Pacific Rim and Aliens and Blade Runner and a few other bits like that. Space Odyssey. There's all sorts of like. They've definitely taken elements of each film and banged it into this, you know. And it's got Jennifer Lopez in, you know, and it's not her worst performance, shall we say? And I quite like.
It is a 2-hour movie, though, isn't it? Because I was looking at that earlier on, thinking I might put that on. Yeah,
it's a 2-hour film. It doesn't feel like it's 2 hours.
Does it not?
No. And I
does it feel longer?
I know. Well,
does it feel longer?
No, and I know AJ didn't enjoy it because I watched his review, and a few of the people have said it wasn't what they expected, but it's not a little bad sci-fi film. And I thought Netflix was turning the corner with some of these, because some of these streaming films have been absolutely shite, and some of them have been all right. So you know, this one's sort of in the all right pile.
Okay,
and then I put Bionic on, right. This afternoon. Bionic on. And the storyline to this is that it's set in 2035 or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And the world of sport has been taken over by amputees with fake appendages, arms, legs, whatever. And they're now breaking all the world records. So all the athletes all the normal bodied athletes can't compete. So it's like they've took what's happening now with all this woke bullshit about having disabled people race with normal people.
Yeah.
And they made it 35 years into the future where all of a sudden all these people have now took over the sport, and like the long jump records 30 meters or something like that, because this woman's got bionic legs with springs in it and she's managed to do it. Right. So what they do is that they normal able-bodied athletes then go and have an arm or a leg cut off so they can get special appendages, special like what they call the
bionic
stuff, yeah, so they can compete. But they take it one step further. Right. They become bank robbers. So you've got able-bodied athletes cutting an arm off so they can get a bionic arm so they go rob a bank.
Sounds like a plan, really, doesn't it?
But to make it worse, it's dubbed. So, and it's not dubbed in a good way either. It's right. like watching a Bruce Lee sort of rip-off. And so that's why I've only watched half a movie. I've got about 40 minutes into a 2-hour film, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations on getting that far.
Yeah. So just think of it where like Alex Murphy in RoboCop gets shot, right? So they start building him as an android, as a cyborg, put all his appendages on, all his bloody like arms and his legs, and then he's supposed to be some sort of tracker. Better example, Usain Bolt gets his leg blown off, Then he
Right.
put her on a bionic leg, and then he goes robs a bank. That's the film, right?
Okay.
So instead of having like a Rocky style montage, you've got this woman learning how to. Yeah, you've got this woman learning how to run and jump with this bionic leg, and then the next scene, she's high jumping on top of a bank truck, an armored vehicle, so she can rob it. Yeah, I'd stirred it off of that. You know,
I bet you missed the best parts of it as well.
it probably got really, really good, and it's probably going to win an Oscar next year.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the end of it, and I'd be going, "Have I seen that?" Do you know when you get like your 1 minute, your minute long clip, and it'll be all over TikTok next week, and it'll be like, "Have I seen that film?"
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, here we go. So that's it, ladies and gents. We're 20 minutes in. Now let's get to the content of the stream, shall we? Right. Did you see this week that the studio Legendary are doing a reboot of the Street Fighter live action movies?
Really?
So they're going to reboot the Street Fighter live action film, the one that starred Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
They're going to reboot that. And it's also going to have a series of supporting live action extended TV episodes.
Okay.
So instead of every character having a backstory in the film, we're going to get a character's backstory as like extended TV episodes straight to streaming.
All right.
So how many characters? How many characters are in Street Fighter? 20. So we're going to get 20 episodes of backstories.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, that's ultimately when you watch a movie like that, you don't really want to sit back and spend days on end watching backstories of each character. You want to see it, just go for it. I don't, especially if they did that and there was that many sort of episodes where it's just like, right, today they're going to go on about this one, and then today they're going to go on about that one. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to sit through it.
Well, I don't know if I want to sit through like Dan Sims' sort of backstory or Yonder's backstory or something like that. That's where I think the original Street Fighter film did it well. You got introduced to the likes of Balrog and Dalsim and Yonder. To know who they were, you knew who they were, but you didn't need to know that Yonder was like a sumo champion until he ended up fighting with Zangief at the end.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he become this sumo super wrestler.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, so anyway, that's the plan for Street Fighter. Now I'm in two minds with this because I quite like my original Street Fighter. It's like the original Mortal Kombat. I quite like that, so I don't like it when they start messing about with that. You know.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, the thing is that I think it's one of those movies that I enjoy putting on, but I'm not attached to it in the respect that if they did a decent remake, that I wouldn't be kicking off. It's not on a level of Back to the Future or anything of that ilk. So if they did another one, I'd be like, you know what, actually that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I enjoyed the Mortal Kombat remake, if you like, or reboot, whatever you want to call it. And I'm looking forward to a second one. But what I'm not a fan of at the minute is everything coming out as a TV program. I'd rather it be a movie.
I don't mind if it's going to be a Street Fighter TV series. If it didn't have the movie, right? And you give
but you know the thing is that with a TV series, there is going to be a shed load of filler.
Yeah. But
do you know what I mean?
What I don't want is a shed load of filler in a TV series, and then I've had to watch that shed load of filler to understand what's happening in the film. I don't want them, I don't want them to pull a Marvel with me where I've got to understand Ms. Marvel from the TV series to understand Ms. Marvel.
No, I understand that. I know what you mean. But I've just, like I say, for me, I'd be happier it being, even if it's a 3-hour movie, I'd be happier it being a 3-hour movie than being, you've got to really invest 20 episodes worth to get to
get where we are in the film. Yeah.
And that's the difference is that if it's a UK program, it tends to be between 6 to 10 episodes. If it's an American program, you're talking 20 to 20. In fact, I think it's probably less nowadays than it was before, but you're at least talking 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Per season.
If it was a Star Trek series, for example, the old Star Trek, it was 25 episodes, isn't it? You know. Have you heard the
Luke said, have you heard the announcement on Thor 5?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Jurassic Park. It's like Jurassic World 4, though, isn't it? It's going slightly off topic of what I've got on my list here now. They've got Scarlett Johansson signed on for Jurassic World 4, but then they're not sure if Chris Pratt's going to come back. And so that means Bo Dallas Howard, or whatever her name is, isn't coming back.
Mm.
So anyway, that's another part of movie news. I haven't got that on there because you know me, you know my views on the Jurassic World series.
Hey, did you get? I don't suppose you did, but did you catch any of Z's Instagram stream thing yesterday afternoon? Last night, sorry.
No.
Z did a little thing where he was showing off some of his stuff. I think it was obviously from his store, and he had this. What's the woman called from The Mandalorian? The one that got ceremoniously booted off. Yeah, he had a statue of her, and it was brilliant.
Gina something or other.
Yeah. He weren't a Hot Toys one. He was something else, but he was like this big. It was massive. It was beautiful.
Hey, Chris.
But if he's ever on a stream, ask him to have a look at it.
Well, I keep missing him on Whatnot and stuff like that because I'm not on Instagram enough to watch the streams. And
it just popped up. I was looking at something and it just popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I'll have a look," because I don't think you can watch those things back, can you? On Instagram, I don't think you can. I think it's purely live. It's alive. That's it.
Next on my list for movie news, you enjoyed the National Treasure movies, don't you? The Nicolas Cage adventure films.
The thing is that for me, yeah, I did enjoy their movies, but the thing for me with it's Nicolas Cage is you know what you're going to get with him 99% of the time, and Nicolas Cage puts 110% in every movie he does, whether it's a C movie, B movie, or a
How would you feel to National Treasure 3?
I've got no thingy to watch it this far gone. To be fair, this far down the line, I'm not really itching to watch anything like that.
So the director with the other two, John Turtle Tube, just butchered his surname there, has announced that National Treasure 3 is a go-ahead, and 80 to 90% signed on with the original cast. So that means your John Vaughan, your Nicolas Cage are coming back to do another one.
Okay. Have you managed to get round to watching the second trailer of Beetlejuice yet?
No.
Oh mate, it's good. That I'm looking forward to. This sort of thing, I don't know. It's just it was never like one of my favourite films back then, so I don't think I'm in any rush to sort of run back and watch that. To be fair, although it will probably bring out a couple of steelbooks on the 4K for the first two.
Yeah, so Jeremy Renner has made a return to the big screen in Knives Out 3. So this is his first run out since his accident last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back on screen, which means that we'll probably get his appearance in Hawkeye season 2, which they've announced last week as well, haven't they? So it'll be good to get him in there. Although Hawkeye season 2 will probably feature
that night. We need a physical release for the second one.
Yeah.
That Glass Onion one, we need a release for it because it's annoying me so much because I enjoy it, but I really enjoyed the first one.
Mhm.
Nice.
So do you remember last week when we were talking? No, it wasn't on our stream. We were talking about it. We were in Luke's chat last
yeah.
week when
Yeah.
we were talking about the time between cinematic release to streaming to physical release.
Yeah.
This just puts you in the picture of how quick Disney want to run these things. Inside Out 2, which is the big animated movie release coming out on the 14th of June. So it's the sequel to Inside Out.
Yeah.
It's getting a 100-day cinematic release. Right? So it's only going to be in the cinema just over 3 months. Then it's going straight.
I was going to say, though, I think you say that, but 3 months is quite a while.
But then it's going, here you go, but then it's going straight to Disney Plus. And then within a month of it being on Disney Plus, the Blu-ray's being released. So 4 months after release in the cinema, you're getting a physical release.
Right.
So that's Disney pushing the animated movie. Now, how long are you waiting for? How long have you been waiting for, like, The Mandalorian and stuff like that to come out from Disney?
Yeah, and this is it.
3
I mean,
years,
like I said,
3 years?
it was a little while, wasn't it? I mean, the thing is that there's still season 3 that needs to be released for physical media. But I'm in the midst of trying to track down season 2 at the minute.
Yeah. So 4 months from release, then you're getting a physical copy of that film. So I don't know if that's an indication of Disney's new sort of release policy, or they're just doing it because they know it's a kids' film, and by 4 months down the line from here is Christmas, isn't it? You start heading into your Christmas sales.
Yeah.
We were talking live action version Street Fighter before. Universal are to make a live action version of the Just Cause video games. They've got the production company of 87 North, which is the company behind John Wick and Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And is it Angel Manuel Soto who did Blue Beetle? He's been badged for the director. Now, I quite enjoyed the first 2 Just Cause games, and Just Cause 3 was absolutely amazing. So if they stick to the core content of the video games, I think they could be on for a winner there, because it is an action style film, an action style game where you're actually doing something, and stuff like that. It's like Uncharted and things like that. If they did it right, you could have a blockbuster on your hands. So I agree on that one. Yeah. Sort of looking forward to that. We know from previous shows, gone are the days of waiting 8 years for ET. Yeah. We know we're getting a live action reboot of He-Man. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Now they've actually cast Nicholas Galzine, is it? As Prince Adam / He-Man. Now he's not been in anything that I know of, but apparently he's been in Purple Heart, a comedy series called Bottoms, and another series called Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Okay.
Don't know him. However, Travis Knight is going to be the director of the film. So, yeah, I don't know where to go with that one, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know where to go with that one. However, this is the big one for me, right? This is the last bit of movie news, Steve. I know you're getting bored. I can see it in your face.
Now go on.
Right. So we know the Pigeon's getting released. Yeah.
The Pigeon. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Pigeon. The Crow reboot, the Pigeon, because it's not my Crow.
Yeah.
It's not the Crow I love. It's now dubbed #the Pigeon, right? The main actor, Eric Draven, Bill Skarsgård, has come out, right? And he said now he's watched he's filmed the ending. He's watched the ending. He knows how this is going to end. His words were, the film has got a disappointing and dissatisfying ending to my character arc.
Really? Fucking hell.
So that's not filling me full of hope and joy. And you know my reaction when we watched the trailer.
Yeah.
So we're not getting Micro. We're not getting a decent reboot. And for the main actor to say, in his words, were disappointing and dissatisfying ending to my character arc.
Yeah. Well, that just makes me want to see it even more now.
Long live the pigeon.
Long live the pigeon. Bloody hell. As that Luke said there.
I've heard that Chris Evans has been casted to play Nomad in the Nomad series, which is out in 2026. Yeah.
Okay. What's this say? Let's hope they don't have crap story with a missing key synthesizers found by someone from Friends in the new He-Man movie. Mate, I tell you what, there's a couple of things that I saw an advert or a post yesterday about them bringing out the Friends series on 4K, right? Which was a bit like, well, I mean, eventually that'll go down to relatively cheap enough to buy, but as it stands at the minute, the only reason that I would buy it if it was on there would be the Friends reunion thing that they did. So that's the only reason I would buy it, but I don't think that's on there. So there's no immediate need to do that. The other thing, and I've pulled the trigger myself today, but I saw a post on one of the movie chats things, on one of the movie channels on Facebook today. Is it Powerhouse? Releasing Guest House Paradiso on Blu-ray.
Again,
there's only limited. It's limited to 3,000 copies. £16 odd plus like £3 postage, so it's about 20 quid just over. But that's quite interesting because that movie has never had a Blu-ray release other than Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
So that's come. That's been announced today. So I think that's the 19th of August or something. The release, the shipping date.
See, Luke's put that there's going to be 5 episodes of Nomad, and it's Captain America teaming up with Haley Atwell, which was Agent Carter. Now, I do quite like Haley Atwood, and I like Agent Carter, and I quite enjoyed the Agent Carter series. But I would have liked to have seen her continue the sort of Captain Britain, the Captain Britain arc from Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, the Madness of Multiverse, or whatever it was called. I would have quite enjoyed to see that.
So Jace has brought up a point about would we do ever movie reactions, movie trailer reactions? We're in a little group with AJ, and we had conversations a while back about some of these trailer reactions that we get, and I mean the way he's doing it at the minute is absolutely hilarious. If you've not watched AJ's movie place, go check him out for that, because he's doing exactly what we probably would have done, which is literally just taking the piss of everybody else that does it, because it's so fake, some of it.
I don't think when I watched, and to bring him back up again, Dave from Savage Zombie Reviews, his trailer reviews that he did, he would literally watched it and he reacted to what he was watching, and it wasn't over the top or anything like that. And I have thought, I will do some trailer reviews at some point, but like you say, AJ just cornered the market on that now.
It literally, when we were taking the piss saying he should do it, and then he actually did it, and it was like, that's a lot better than I expected it to be. But it was just like the over the top, I mean, thumbnails and stuff where they're all like this. You know what I mean? And that sort of thing. And it just has me in stitches. So we would do some, but I'd be very hard pressed to try and sort of beat what he's doing at the minute, because it's hilarious.
To be honest with you, Steve, if it meant you doing content, I'd be all for you trying to do some trailer reviews. It's hard. It's hard keeping the channel running by myself, you know.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, your last video. You only put your last video out because City won the title that day. Let's face it. That's the only reason why you did it. You got such a big hard on watching them lift the Premier League title. You thought, you know what? I'm going to go and do a video.
The thing is, with City winning the Premier League title, it's pretty much a given, isn't it? Most years. So, I'm more shocked that Everton managed to stay in the league.
Hey, even the Premier League themselves can't relegate us.
Yeah, that's it. They tried twice. I'll try and get those videos uploaded that I've got. But I'm not going to be picking much up over next week or so. I mean, I got some box sets and stuff this week, but I don't think I've mentioned.
Let's just answer Jason's question. Yes, Jason, I am looking at doing some trailer reviews, trailer reactions, and I am looking at doing more movie reviews. And as you see from the Atlas video, I do allude to the fact that we are meant to be a movie channel and not a pick-up toy channel. Which is where we've been the last 12 months. So, yeah, it'll be good to
behave yourself, Neil. You'll be even more shocked when we're cleared of the charges.
I don't know, you know. I think they make 40 of them stick, but you'll just get a fine because they've changed the rules now, haven't they? Now they're going after the big six.
No, now they're going after everybody rather than just us, you mean?
No, now they've picked on the bottom clubs and they haven't managed to relegate us. You know, now they'll pick on the top ones where there's no chance of relegation at all. Anyway, let's get off the football chat because you just bored the shit out of me with your City crap. So, little Steve, you said that you've picked up some box sets this week.
Yeah, a couple. Oh, my on big screen. So this is the intermission for Steve to have a brew. No worries. Right, give me a sec. So, where is it? I've just bloody had it. So there's a couple of box sets I managed to pick up from a couple of charity shops. So, in fact, I'll go through these first. So the ones that I picked up, Blu-ray Rise. So just before you start, mate. I swear to God, Neil, are you going to keep doing this?
Neil, that's just poetic justice for them trying to sue us for breaking the rules, the little fuckers.
Yeah, that's true. So first couple, Hologram of a King. I know we had it as a homework a while ago.
Yeah.
And I got the DVD. It wasn't massively great, but this was £1 in CEX, so I picked that up because it's a Tom Hanks movie. The other one I hadn't really seen on DVD on Blu-ray for a while, but I did have it on DVD, and it's The Father. This isn't a popcorn movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely one that sort of stuck with me a little bit. So Anthony Hopkins is great in it, and Olivia Colman's really good. She's a good actress anyway, but that was £4 from CEX, so I was having that because I only had the DVD of it. Then I picked up some box sets. So the first one I picked up, let me have a look. These were from a charity shop, so they did me a deal. Nothing major really. Doc Martin, series 1 to 4. I paid, I think it was £12 for all of them. So I got this one. I got Everybody Loves Raymond, the complete series 1, 2, 8, 9, is it? 9.
I do love Everyone Loves Raymond.
I've never watched it. One from my definitely from my childhood. I didn't really care for this after a certain amount of seasons, but I knew as soon as this came on, it was nearly bedtime, and that is Heartbeat. So I got a series 1 to 5 of Heartbeat.
Is that just because the theme tune put you
Yeah.
to sleep?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, right, you've got to go to bed now. Heartbeat's finished. I'm sure that was the case. Then I got. This is the second time I've had this box set. The first one I did trade in. ER box set, the complete series.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 331 episodes of 48 discs. Big box set, that one. And I think that's pretty much it apart from this one. This one, yeah, I bought it anyway. 1 second, mate. Knight Rider season 1 of the reboot in it. So I think I did check 1 minute, mate. I did check, and I think there was literally only 1 season of it.
Yeah.
But obviously, because I've got the other Knight Riders, I had to pick this up as well. But it was a nice find. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week.
All right. So for
You're going to show off car parts now?
No, the car parts for the other channel, mate. So don't show them off on here. I can do if you want. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to Life in the First Lane. That's my other channel. You know, I did have head of creative on the bottom of here. However, Steve's changed it to head of talent relations. I did notice that earlier on. By the way. Not just something that I've noticed now. You've put me on big screen. So, Mike messaged me the other day, right? Mike from next door, and he said to me, "Let me know when you're going to the new Starbase 55 shop up in Birkenhead, and I'll come with you." And I said, "All right, okay. Are you trading in or you're buying?" And he said, "Both." Right. So this was Bank Holiday Monday. So me, Lance, Mike, and Mel, we ended up jumping in the car, went up to Birkenhead. And Mike's talking to James. I've said me hellos and everything else, caught up with him. And then I went looking around the shop while Mike was emptying out his trade-ins. Yeah. And I need to stop looking when we go into his shop, because you've seen my short recently that I've put out that my room is full now. You know, I'm in that process now of doing it.
Yeah.
Of cleaning stuff out that I don't need. Hence why my Transformers look a bit thin there now, because I cleared out about 40 of them the other week. Yeah. Now, I've also put the guns and the lightsaber on the wall now. So the Gears of War Lancer is up on there. So as Mike's talking to James and I'm walking around, I come across this, right?
All right.
So it's a Super 7 Super Cyborg X-Ray, the X-Ray action figure. It's a see-through Optimus Prime with all those gubbins.
Right. So this was in the back room, you say?
This is on the back shelf, yeah.
Oh, back shelf.
So obviously, I ask him what's the best he can do on it. He gives me his price, and Lana's looking at me, and I've already got my bank card out my wallet. So I've picked this up. So it's a see-through X-ray version of Optimus Prime with all his gubbins, including the Matrix of Leadership. There you go. And yeah, it's just absolutely awesome. Now I need to find somewhere. And look, you can get the Megatron one as well, which I've now got to go and find. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go and find the Megatron, and then I've got to find somewhere to put them up. So I don't know if I'm going to unbox them or leave them boxed. I think
so you're now trying to figure out if it's worth unboxing it. That's never usually been a thing for you. You just unbox the bloody things anyway.
I know. I would normally rip it up, but I have still got the. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't see down at the bottom. But that RoboCop's still in the box I picked up from.
Don't take that out.
I haven't took that out. So this one, I'm probably going to keep in the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just fell in love with him as soon as I seen him. I was like, right, that's mine.
Right. Okay.
And then, but Mike's really such a bad influence though, because I wouldn't have picked it up. I wouldn't have been in the shop if it wasn't for Mike, and he's a bad influence on me when it comes to spending money. However, I did get my own back on him later on, because when he traded all the stuff in, he was buying turtle figures, and he was umming and ahhing about buying another one, and I just threw it at him, and then James ran it through the till, so he ended up paying for it. So I got my own back. But yeah, this one. So if you ever up in the Birkenhead area, or if you have a look at Starbase 55 on eBay, James is starting to do eBay as well now, and he's got some really cool figures, really good stuff. Go and check him out. Or if you're in the Birkenhead area, I'll give you the postcode for his store up at Champions Business Park, and you go and have a look. Steve, the next time you come up, mate, I'll take you up there.
Yeah, I'm hoping to at some point when you're not away on holiday.
Yeah,
again.
When you next come up, I'll take you up. And I've managed to get, which I'm still waiting to come through the post, was me last Attack on the last that was me last Attack on Titan Funko Pop Irwin. I've managed to get him on Vinted, and we're just waiting for that post to come for that to be delivered in stores. And no, we're not talking Funko protectors. I'm ignoring that comment. That's enough, Dave. There you go.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so that was my. You're changing my tagline every time I do something. Yeah, so we're that was my pickup. So I don't know where I'm going to put them. I don't know. That's why you need to help out more, little Steve. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Neil. I do say this to him. And you know, my attention's split between two channels at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, you can be banned, you know, from actually putting stuff up there.
All right, I'll take it down now.
Yeah.
Hey Z, I was just telling Steve about that big statue you had last night of what was she called again, Steve?
Is it Gina Kamara? Was it the one from The Mandalorian?
You get a chance, put a picture up for us, see, so I can show him. Caradon,
yeah. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Z, Only Cool Stuff, go and have a look at his YouTube channel and have a look at onlycoolstuff.co.uk.
Go and check his Gremlin stuff out because it's amazing.
He does a lot of stuff. Yeah, Chris was talking about picking up a couple of Gremlin figures off him last night, and I must have missed a stream where you were doing all these great deals. And if you have a look behind me, some of these statues have come from Z as well, including this really cool Spider-Man, which is real close to hand. So yeah, go and check him out. He's got some great stuff at great prices. Yeah, I'll have to have a look on your store, Z. You'll have to tell us when your next Whatnot is as well, and I'll come on there. I do laugh when I'm on Z's Whatnot though, because he's trying to sell all these little figures, and I just look at the big stuff at the back and go, "What do you want for that?"
No, I finally got my Starlight. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I've been after one of those bad boys when he started the shows, and then I got his showpiece in the end.
Yeah. So that was movie news. That was pickups of the week. Let's put the link into the chat and see if anyone wants to come on and come and have a.
Yep. There is one more guy I picked up for £1. Big Roman Reigns
from the Shield days.
Yeah, he has. See if he does it.
I don't experience fear, and I don't back down.
Oh.
I'm having him for £1.
Was that him stumping his toe then when you banged him on the desk to make him
I think you've got to bang him down. Don't know how it works.
I can and I will.
I don't know. So I'm sort of I'm sort of taking a break from Whatnot at the moment. Unless there's somebody that's on that I really want to watch, like Chris or Z or someone like that. I just don't turn the app on.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same.
I'm sort of finding it it's run its course for me now.
I think the thing is that, and I'm not really, if it wasn't for Chris, I'm not really an early adopter. So if it wasn't for Chris, I probably wouldn't have gone onto it as early as I did.
Mm.
And there's still a lot of people that I talk to that have never bloody heard of it. But I think it's sort of getting to a point now where it is oversaturated with a lot of things. If I could find, you've got a few more that are selling collectibles and stuff now, but it is still a massive amount of pop figures, trading cards. The clothes are open, and the clothes are from rag shops.
Don't
houses,
take the wrong way. Those that are selling on
no, not at all. No, not at all.
It's the same Funko Pops on every stream.
Yeah.
And there's only so much I can see Finn from Star Wars. Or who's the other one now? This Commander Fetch or whatever they're called. That's
Yeah.
There's only so many times I can see the same one, and it's the same with Magpie now. Magpie doesn't want to sell the £5 Funko Pops; they want to sell the £150 Funko Pops. Cat Mum Pop, yeah, she's the same. She doesn't want to do the £5 ones anymore. She wants to do the big stuff, and the clothes resellers.
Thanks, Neil. You cheeky shit.
In the clothes resellers since the Poshmark collapse,
there's
been an influx in clothing resellers that are just selling crap that they can't sell on eBay. And you wouldn't give some of that stuff to the ragman. Some of the clothes I've bought from Whatnot, and I'm like, they're just rags for Teddy when I'm cleaning Teddy down.
Yeah. So he's been buying a lot of Everton shirts off there then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is what I mean, and it's no disrespect to anybody that is selling on there, because there is some genuine people that we support, and I like to get stuff off. But the problem is, whenever I try any of the new sellers, a lot of the time the stuff that's turning up is like, I mean, it looks okay on camera when you're selling it for 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? But you get it, and it's really worn or whatever, and there's holes in it, but they're just coming from, a lot of them are just coming from bundles from a rag house.
Yeah,
pulling it out of a bundle. Oh yeah, this is a nice a night top. There you go, and you get it, and there's like those holes in it or stains.
Nail on the head. Z's hit the nail on the head there with his comments. It is a social thing. I enjoy the ones where we have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoy them. I enjoy getting involved in the conversations and stuff like that. However, as long as you're continuing to sell stuff, there is people on there that read 40 minutes worth of comments and haven't sold jack shit, and I'm like, I'm bored now. I want to. What have you got? And then his second comments there, people need to be selling better stuff all over. Yeah, I agree, and this is why I enjoy the toy sales people, because they're willing to take the risk on not necessarily getting what the item's worth in a shop, because you'll know that it swings and roundabouts. You're gonna get £10 for your £5 item, but you might only get 25 quid for your 35 quid item. It swings and roundabouts. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. But for me, I've got some really good bargains on Whatnot. But there's a lot of people on there now that are going, the Spider-Man, for example. That could have quite easily got listed at 55, 60 quid to start off with. Yeah. Right? And it didn't, Z did as a great deal, knowing that people were going to bid on it, and we did. But there's people that would start this at what it's worth in a shop,
Hmm.
and then when they're not selling something, they'll complain that it's not selling and rage quit the stream. The stream.
I haven't seen as many of them recently, to be fair. I remember at the start there was quite a lot of that.
It would work really well for celeb influencers selling merch. And yeah. Chris does really well when he's selling his comic T-shirts or his movie T-shirts or whatever. But it's not necessarily great when you're selling extra small North Face T-shirts, because who in this day and age is an extra small? You know,
It's true. It's true.
you know, little Steve pretends that he's a large, and he's not. That's why his clothes look huge on him. He's really a medium, aren't you? Medium, Steve.
Medium, Steve. That's why you buy me small bloody vest.
Top. You need to wear that this summer.
When the sun comes out, I'll be right on it.
Yeah, you need to wear that. There you go. Yeah, so I'm just taking a break from it, unless there is people on there that I like to support and I like to buy stuff off, and I know that I've got good stuff. Even Dave, that has got good stuff that's worth buying. You know, like you say, some of these Marvel Diamond Selects have come from whatnot, and I can't complain. I've got them for really good prices.
No.
You know, and I know there's certain stores that are doing them at the moment while they're doing the rundown stock, but there's only so many Hawkeyes with the dog and the bow that I can see in certain stores.
Cheeky shit.
Anyway, ladies and gents, the link is in the chat, so if you'd like to come on, then please just feel free. Steve, so where are we at with your streaming now? What are you looking at stuff like Netflix and putting a lot of stuff on your reminders for when it comes out?
There's a couple of things I've put reminders on, but there's nothing. There's nothing that's sort of screaming out at me. We talk about it every week, really, but you've got, you know, there are certain series of things that I'm just waiting for. You know, your bloody hell. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart at the minute. Not Money Heist. The other one, fucking
Squid Games.
Squid Games. Thank you very much. You know, stuff like that. I'm just waiting for those things to come out. I did see that there's going to be some sort of physical releases of the spin-offs of The Walking Dead that are actually coming to the UK, so that Amazon have got them listed now, due for release later this year. I think.
I've seen adverts for the new Walking Dead with Rick and Michonne.
Is that the ones who lived or something like that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go back and watch the last 2 series of Walking Dead and figure out what's happened, because I give up on it.
Yeah,
it's just really slow. Z's got a question. Question for the movie guys: will Godzilla -1 come out on regular Blu-ray?
More than likely. I mean, the thing is it's such a big character. It will be a shame that if they didn't.
Do you think that they will do a Godzilla box with all the, because they did it with a couple of the other sort of like kaiju characters, haven't they? Where they've put all like the original films and the new releases and everything into one big Godzilla collection.
Well, you've obviously got this one. You've got the MonsterVerse one.
Yeah, which is now out of date.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Because -1 doesn't link into the MonsterVerse, so it's not that.
No,
it's not that sort of tied in. So,
but the thing is that if you look into it, the amount of Godzilla films is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
like there's obviously mainstream ones, but there is so many previously.
I didn't see him join in there. Hello, sir.
Do you remember back in 1998, the only one we had was with Matthew Broderick?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the only Godzilla movie that we had. 1998. There was about 40 years worth of Godzillas before that.
Yes, but up until then, everybody used to make fun of him. I can remember going to school and they would be making fun of those because up until then, every other Godzilla film that was black and white was like you saw the person going, "Oh no, ah, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, run, run, run," ah, blah, 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 because of the horrible dubbing.
Yeah.
And the 98 was the very first one we had where it was American and we could just understand it. And
do you mean when we had the digitized Godzilla?
Yeah.
Not a man in a costume running around, etc.
Yeah.
It was
and
it was the first mainstream Godzilla film, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was, well, let's face it.
Yes,
we also had the one that later went to be Inspector Gadget. But I was able to pick up something that was really sentimental to me, and that is do either one of you have a game that means a lot to your life that holds a significant importance?
Probably something like Tomb Raider for me, just because that was a game changer in the day. Silent Hill, Resident Evil, to name a few. You want to go further back, it's something like Jetpack on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, I meant in a different way. The before well, the thing is that, so I haven't really been able to go into too much detail as to why I am the way that I am, but I before I was that way, but because I was in something pretty similar to this, and I was into the PlayStation, the Xbox games, and I was able to, I was able to be able to play them, and my mind was like your guys'. I was able to think clearly, problem skills, and what do you call that? The ability to play games like Mass Effect or things like that, and be able to navigate them 100%. 100%. There's a
You were
thing
sort of
in the mind.
focusing on them.
Yeah, and this was the very last game
Fable 2. I remember Fable 2.
This was the very last game that I played when I had a normal mind before what I showed you a few seconds ago. So this
Fable 2 was a game for me where the achievements used to make me laugh, because you used to have to go in, seduce a woman, get her to marry her, and then you got the extra achievement when you killed your wife. I thought that was brilliant.
I remember when I played past the ending, and it was like, after your adventure ends, you have to keep going out and saving your child, because your child goes out and starts trying to fight and have adventures too. and then you find out that the villain is not dead, so you have to keep fighting those machines. But
Right.
but yeah, yeah. So this just has such a significant importance to me because I mean, like I said, I was completely normal when I played this one,
Okay.
and yeah, can you imagine me normal? It was quite a sight, I tell you.
Fair enough.
But you know why I got these steelbooks right here?
Go on. Oh, is that, what did that just say? 50 Shades of Grey?
And
Yeah. Is that 50 Shades Darker?
yeah, I got them because so I don't have to go into the detail. I can show
Oh, fair enough.
these. I can show these, and people will know exactly what I'm talking about. Going into detail only brings up horrible emotions, and you've seen I can't say a lot of the stuff. I clam up. So these, I don't have to.
Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough.
Yeah. So,
Without me running the risk of offending anyone, are you into your intricate games anymore, or do you, or is it like films? You just enjoy ones where you don't need to think; they're not overcomplicated, or
I couldn't understand the couple words you said in the beginning.
so do you know like the like
All
the
right.
game, do you know like the games like Mass Effect where there's a lot going on and it ties into lots of different storylines all at the same time? Do you still play games like that, or are you a little bit more simple, sort of turn your brain off for a couple of hours and play something like Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that?
Hold on a second.
Hello.
Hey Z.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got you, buddy.
I thought I'd just pop on for the last few minutes. Why not?
No, why not, mate? No.
Enjoy chatting.
Z, so you want not and stuff like that. Your last comment that you made is that you've got to have your expectations both for buyers and sellers. I think that's a quite an interesting point. You know,
I mean, I think my feeling of it is at the moment is like it's at a crossroads in a way where it can go. I think it depends a lot on the sellers. I think the responsibility, to be honest, is with the sellers. Like, you know, like if I was to go and set up an auction house right today, I've got the choice of setting up an auction house of many different types. You've got auction houses which sell stuff which isn't good, which is cheap, and the lots start at £1, or you could set yourself up a fine arts or something auction house.
Yeah.
You know, they're both exactly the same mechanics, aren't they? They're both exactly the same, except one of them, most of the bids start at £1, and in the other one down the road, the bids can start at £1 million, right? But the mechanics are the same. I think at the moment, what you've got on Whatnot is, I think, like there's this strong thing where sellers feel they've got to start stuff at £1 or £2 to get bids, and it's like a self-fulfilling kind of prophecy in a way. Like they want to start cheap, so they only offer cheap stuff, and then it goes for cheap. I think you kind of almost have to build your audience. I feel like you guys have said, like certain streamers like Magpie and Cat Mum Pop and stuff, they've started to shift, and guess what? They're getting results. Yeah. Like they've also done the whole pound stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like they've given away loads of stuff, and even now when they start stuff cheap, it goes for, you know, what they're starting it for, kind of thing. But then again, when they focus on the fancy stuff, the buyers that want the fancy stuff come out, and then they pay the fancy prices. I mean,
do you know? Go on. Sorry, go on.
No. I think also, like, it's really young here, isn't it, in comparison to America? Like, if you look at the American streams, but even there, you've got the same two types of things. You've got people that will start stuff at £1 and just churn it out, and it'll just get £1. I kind of feel like it's on the seller. Like the seller, you know, like when you have say for example a YouTube stream or a Twitch stream, you create
Yeah.
your audience, don't you? So like my aim is like I've tried like doing like stuff where it's cheaper and stuff, but it's not sustainable. So for me to sustainably do it, I'm kind of
know-
moving forward, just like I'm kind of gonna use it as like a showcase place. So like show my stuff off, start it at good prices. Like for example, like you mentioned, like Chris picked up a couple of bits off me, and they were even a couple of quid cheaper than my website. Like only by a couple of quid. Like I'm selling them for like 30 on my site, but I've offered them like a couple of quid, like 28 literally. So it's not cheap, like giving it away, but at least I'm still able to make something on it, and it's worth me bothering to pack and ship it. But also it means I'm offering good stuff that you're not seeing everywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? Like and I think, you know, people are getting tired, like you said, like there's so many Funkos and so many there's so much like of the same kind of stuff, isn't there? Like even like the toy section is really dry, isn't it? It's like it's a surprise when you see someone selling something that's not a Funko or Funko related.
It's not. It's when you see something that not every one of them are selling. Do you know what I mean?
I think when you see me, when you see me join into streams there, and I'm like, have you got X, Y, Z or A, B, C, D? No, I haven't got any of them. Thanks very much. I'll catch you on the next one. I don't sit there now and watch them for hours, you know, because there's so many different ones. And the thing is for me is that I'd buy something off you this week, see, and then I'll be selling what I've bought from you next week on my stream.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the same things going around the group. Do you know, like Wolfie and Gary and Minion, and they're all selling stuff that they've bought off each other.
Yeah,
so,
I know what you mean. I think it needs to mature. Hey, hi the monkey, by the way.
Hi. I hear what you're saying, but we do it differently in America, sadly, and that is when one will buy it from the other will bump up the price. Like there's been tons of times where I see that I will miss out on something, and then I will see it later, like a week later, it relisted for like double the price. Americans are greedy.
That's a very good point, that Monkey. Sorry, because I forget you're in the States and you've had Whatnot for a few years now, haven't you? Is it? It's still a big platform over there, isn't it? Do you use that quite regularly?
Well, other ones, but I'm very familiar with it. But Americans just are greedy, and like if it goes for $1, they'll be like, "Why is it $1? Is it sun-kissed? Was it like sitting out in the, you know, like Americans complain, they're not grateful. Americans would rather argue, so they may be getting a good deal, but they'll question it afterward. Americans are unsatisfied with life.
I wouldn't blame just Americans on that. I think people in general are like that. I think you'll find that. Yeah, I wouldn't say some of the stuff you're saying seems like I could relate to it here, like as well. Like for example, you often find, you know, when you're dealing with people, it's people that like drive the hardest bargains that are also the most difficult and the most demanding.
Yeah.
You tend to find that a little bit, but I get what you're saying. By the way, cool T-shirt as well. I like the Wednesday T-shirt.
Thank you. I'm currently doing a challenge that I instilled upon myself. The thing is that how many of you have a friend or people that you know that say, "Oh yes, I love the film. Yes, I love the film," but how many people are actually willing to prove it, to prove that they love a film the most? I am currently on my, I think, 13th or 14th day watching a certain film, and I am going to 365 to prove that I love it more than anybody else.
So
Is
what
that
you're
not?
doing?
Is that the one you've got so many copies of?
Are you watching each version of Twister that you've got 147
Hey,
copies of?
there's a 4K coming out. There's a 4K coming out.
No, it's actually Adam's Family Values because
Wow.
if you hold on 1 second. One
See,
second.
I'm going to ask you a question that Monkey asked us before, because you're into your games and stuff like that. Is there a game that is close to your heart, or brings back some like sentimental value or memories of playing the game?
Well, like currently, like as in from
Just
from back in the day.
If you was
just
to
in
pop a
general,
game
yeah.
on that was from your past.
Okay, well, I mean, like, if I think of my early gaming memories, it's mostly Sensible World of Soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't care what my formation used to look like. It was all ski-whiff, but I used to put the players where they were happiest so that their values would go up.
Where they were happiest.
Yeah, because a big tick would appear and start flashing to tell
So
you where they
you
were.
have three right
Yeah.
midfielders.
Yeah, so my yeah, for some reason it was broken, so your formation looked like shit, but it meant your values of your players went up.
Yeah.
So that comes in. I spent a lot of time, playing games like that. Really, like I remember, like in recent times, I think in recent times, like in more modern gaming, I think probably my fondest gaming memory has to be either finishing Halo 3 on the hardest level with friends. We were up like until like 5 in the morning. We were doing some skull challenge. We were trying to complete it with certain skulls where you didn't get a checkpoint or something stupid. I remember that was probably one of my fondest gaming memories. And after that, I've got to say BioShock is probably my just that, you know, the moment where like the would you kindly moment, that for me was like, I think, memorable. In terms of currently my favorite kind of gaming thing is just, it's got to have a good multiplayer. So for me, it's all about Halo Infinite or Fortnite. I'm at the moment, I don't think any game has come out recent times which has compelled me to want to play single player yet. I think they're just a bit like even when people are like, oh, you got to play Last of Us, you got to play, and I'm sure they're excellent games, but I'm just not compelled. You know, like.
Are you looking
Grim
forward
Fandango,
to?
that's another one. Sorry, yeah.
Are you looking forward to Call of Duty 6 coming to Xbox Game Pass?
See, I couldn't care less. Couldn't care less about Call of Duty. I'm like, again, I loved playing Warzone, and I like the multiplayer. Like, I'll happily play like Deathmatch and SAD and stuff like that. Like, but I'm just not into playing. Like, I'm kind of craving a game to come out that grabs me like Half-Life and Half-Life 2 did, or like Grim Fandango did. Like, I'm kind of wanting something to grab me and say like, play me, I'm gonna blow your mind, like those games.
Do you mean like this?
Well, maybe, yeah. I never even
BioShock
played
2 was
BioShock.
good, yeah,
So
yeah.
I played the original BioShock and I loved it.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Yeah, the first one I just absolutely adored it. But so I might actually do something like that. Is go back and play something like BioShock 2. The cool thing about being behind is I've got a lot of options.
You've never played it the first time. Every now and then I delve back into like Mass Effect and work my way through Mass Effect 1 to 3, but I always try and pick different options to what I picked the last time, or what I normally would pick, just to see where it takes me in the way. Because Mass Effect's got a character sort of building element to it as well. So if you carry your character through, all the decisions that you made in the previous games help you in other ones, I think we lose that type of game now. We haven't got anything that sort of brings you back into that Dark Souls.
Fallout. My missus is actually playing Fallout 4 as we speak. She's playing
wow.
Fallout 4. And Rebecca's and my daughter's a mad Fallout fan, and she's also a mad Elder Scrolls fan. So she's playing like that. But I enjoyed Fallout 3. I've got to say, Fallout 3 is another game I should mention, which again is more decisions, and you know, I get what you're saying, but I kind of feel like yeah, I just feel like I'm. You know, you hit different stages, don't you, in your gaming? And like at the moment, I'm the lazy gamer that just wants to jump in and play a bit of multiplayer. You know,
Please tell me you don't get on the GTA Online kick.
I haven't played GTA Online, but then again, I've not even played GTA 5. However, in this household, again, my wife Rebecca, she's a mad fan of GTA roleplay, and she watches certain
Roleplay,
streamers.
huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, GTA roleplay. It's a big thing. She loves it, and no, not that kind, but it's really
It's a male
interesting.
prostitute that gets pulled out of his car.
Yeah. It's a bit of a rabbit hole. It really is. Like the people. So there's these like servers that have been set up on a really heavily modded GTA 5, and basically people play roles in the city, but they take them really serious. I mean, like they live on there, so their job is to go onto that server, and sometimes they're there for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and all their friends are on there. They're all, you know, it's like a weird. It's really surreal when you first get into it, but it can be absorbing. And like Rebecca,
So they're like real life NPCs.
yeah, basically. So they play characters. So they'll have character names. There'll be cops. There'll be criminals. There'll be people working at the burger shop. There'll be people riding taxis. People towing cars. And it's
Tell them about the Deadpool.
Deadpool. What about Deadpool?
The one that goes around being Deadpool, he will find somebody in the game and he'll make sure he'll just like fall on them and say like, "Tell me I'm your favorite superhero. Tell me I'm your favorite superhero."
Yeah,
and he'll follow you.
Yeah. There's all kinds of different streamers. Yeah, there's a lot of streamers. I think like Beck watches a streamer that plays a cop, and she's like, she's also just recently started a different character, but they take it really serious. It's a completely different world.
Oh Christ! It'll be like we'd like playing that. But what was that film called? Was it Free Guy with?
Yeah.
Really, it's kind of crazy because you're like, well, it's ingenious. They did it also with they also did it with Red Dead Redemption.
Neil's just put that in the chat there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They did that as well. They did Red Dead as well, which is really cool. I mean, like. It's just interesting, and some people are really good at it. Some people are quite boring, but it's quite cool because you get certain cops that are real pedants and will like be to the book, and they have SOPs, like, you know, standard operating procedures and stuff, and they learn call outs, so they know like the city as if it was a real city. And when they're doing like car chases and stuff, there are people that are trained to go up in helicopters and will literally commentate like a real police chase would be, and they use all the comms and all the little. It's pretty kind of crazy how deep in people get, and it's their life, it's their livelihood.
Oh, speaking of things, well, I hope they never get over there what's really embarrassing here, and that is LARPing.
Never heard of that. I'm not.
No, they do.
What's
they
that?
do. That's like the real life Dungeons and Dragons sort of fantasy battles. Do you know, reenacting of like wars and shit. See?
Oh, like when people dress up at the weekend and stuff. Kind of like that Role Models movie. That was hilarious.
That type of thing. Yeah.
A whispering eye or something. Do you remember?
It's all. They also have it in the TV show Hawkeye.
Oh, okay. I never saw that.
But you would ask Steve what I was into now, and I will say that for the longest time I'm into something that people, they like over here, they're just getting into it, where the people are, where the YouTubers, like for years the YouTubers have just been into movies and shows, and now YouTubers are finally telling each other, go on Crunchyroll, and here I am watching the stream thinking, I watched Crunchyroll back in like 2015, and I'm into things like I've been into it for so long that now I play games like
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Oh, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Yeah.
Yeah, and but ones that make me happy are ones
Oh,
All right.
now
So
that's
you're into your fighting and your first person shooters.
yeah, but this one confused me a bit.
Oh, blood.
Is that a Western thing? That
No, it's
No,
Hitler.
Wolfenstein, Second World War.
Wolfenstein.
German.
Okay, yeah.
But I recently this one that I am finding is amazing. Everyone is familiar with Naruto, but
Yeah,
how
Naruto.
many people are into this? Because I found I really like this, but they don't really talk about it too much. But so I just had to find it like in the wild, so to speak. But this.
Boruto.
It's the
That's his son or something, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
It's so trippy because even though Naruto is not in it very much, they use the same voice actor. So you have somebody that's supposed to be 40-ish years old sounding like he's 12.
Oh, right, okay.
It's the
Fair enough.
trippiest thing. Yeah, but don't worry, you barely have any interactions with Naruto. Like if you've ever seen the Waltons, there's like this little bit at the end. So what I'm saying
Right,
is, it's like
Role play. Hey,
So-
Jake.
Is that the Good Night John Boy type thing?
yeah. So there's only like less than a minute worth of time with him in each episode. Like it's at the end, but
See, I like games. I like games like Destiny, which is I
yeah.
used to play Destiny religiously. I used to be on it for hours on end, and I made some good friends through Destiny. And it's sort of similar to Doom if you haven't played it, first person shooter, but it's got a storyline. It's coming to the end of like a decade-long storyline now, and you know it feels like you've invested a decade of your life to find out what's happening to a certain character. It's bonkers, but you do it, don't you? You end up sitting there playing these games just to get you through.
So Steve,
Zig.
what's your latest
mate,
pickup?
Which Steve?
Funko Steve.
Funko
Me.
Steve. That's it now. That's a new one.
Yeah, Funko Steve and Popeye. There you go. We've got the two.
Funko Steve. That's it.
I've only picked up one Funko recently, mate, and that was me, Commander Erwin from Attack on Titan. That completes my Attack on Titan set.
There we
Well,
go.
I don't just watch those shows. I am so into those Japanese shows that I buy ones like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend, Mike next door started connecting. We put him onto Whatnot, and he got a bit addicted to the new Naruto Funko Pops. To the point where we were spending hours on end watching Funko streams.
Just while we've got Z with us, I need Z. Can you show us the Gremlin stuff, please, mate? Because Steve didn't get a chance to see it.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
If that's all right.
yeah, sure. I've got it. Look,
So while you're waiting
resin.
for okay. Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a little resin gizmo peeping out of his crate. It's quite nice.
That has
isn't it?
to be
Pretty-
bought.
That is gorgeous.
How much
like
is
the
that?
paint-
See?
30.
Well, on my site it's 30, but I was doing it on Whatnot for 28.
30, yeah.
Is that including
actually-
postage?
Yeah, plus postage. Yeah, and then
Who-
there's also this, which is awesome.
One
This
second,
is
monkey.
This is amazing. This is like the goblet. I'll quickly show you the goblet. There we go. I'll just show you that because this is really nice, the goblet. Again, it's resin, hand painted. So you've got the TV there, and the stalk is actually Gizmo on a box of popcorn there. And you can see like the film reel, popcorn, loose film. And then on the other side, it's actually got Gizmo, and it's like a 3D sculpt, so it sticks out the side of the goblet as well.
How much is that one?
Again, 30 or 28 I did it for I'll do it for 28 for you guys, obviously.
Sound. I'll message you in a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
See?
And the Corpse Bride is there as well, which is amazing. You don't see merch for that very often, which is awesome.
Which Michael Myers do you have right behind you, sir?
That's like a rework. I think it's like a rework of a 2018 mask. There's a guy called Cobra Creations you can check out. He does some amazing like sculpts, and he did that.
So how are you finding it? Seeing now that you've not got the physical store, is Bex?
It looks like he's moved it all into the conservatory.
I was going to say, is Bex disappointed she's no longer got this conservatory because she's had used to that for the last couple of years, hasn't she?
It's a bit of an adjustment, obviously. It's a bit of an adjustment, but we're kind of like making do with what we can. But yeah, I've kind of created like a little display. It's a bit messy at the minute, as you can see, but I've created a little.
You got a bat cave.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, it's just a nice way of displaying items, like especially if you're doing live streams or making videos, just a way of showing the stuff off nicely. So it's weird how it's kind of evolving.
If you got that, sorry, matey, if you got that thingy to hand of that one you're showing you today from Mando.
Oh, the Cara Dune? Yeah, I can grab it for you. Yeah, hold on, it's just up here.
Thank you, mate.
It's a beast.
One second, Monkey, mate, because I want to show these because these are awesome.
Yeah, this
Steve,
isn't for sale.
To spend money so far. I've spent 60 quid and I've not moved yet.
Mate, this is gorgeous.
Right, now it's not for sale. This.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm really gutted.
You don't show fat kids cake and say you can't eat it.
Do you know what? I'm really gutted. I broke it unboxing it live. I broke, just so you know, I actually damaged it. I don't know if you can see, but you see at the top of her rifle at the back, there, right at the top, on the butt, there's meant to be a tiny little hook there, and that's where that strap is meant to, that strap there is meant to go.
You can't notice it though, really, can you?
You can't, no, from the back, and it still sits nice and tight. Like, honestly, this doesn't do it justice though, guys. Like, if you're ever like thinking about getting a premium format statue, like a 3rd or 4th, this is a 1/4 scale, it makes Hot Toys look cheap, honestly. Like, it doesn't come across on the camera to me.
What is the brand of them?
This is a Sideshow.
Sideshow ones, yeah.
Yeah, this is a Sideshow premium format, but you get other companies as well. There's Prime One Studios. They do amazing stuff. PCS is another one. But it's more just the size, because the size.
Chris saw the Hulk one, didn't he? That was a Sideshow Hulk, wasn't it? That he had in real that they turned out to be a replica one.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, this is. It's hard to get across, but like because of the size of it, the detail and the different textures, the artwork that goes into this, like the paint job, like the definition and all that, it's like you can just stare at it. Like the only thing that gives it away as not being a real little person is the hair, because obviously the sculpted hair is the only thing that will ever give it away. But I mean, that Cara Dune is just that's monstrously accurate.
Mate, there's a Rey one that looks absolutely immense.
Yeah, I've seen that where she's leaping with the lightsaber. The base, I'm dangerously addicted to this now, and I'm like, how am I going to fund this? Like,
that's the problem. That's the problem where I'm at, because obviously I've started the Marvel Diamond Select stuff, the dioramas. But then I found myself buying the Numbskull ones. Some of the Numbskull, I've got that Numbskull Prime here. Let me put myself on big screen here. And I don't know if you've seen this one.
On a new release of one of these, what sort of price are you thinking that they would be? Like, I'm just wondering if these ones on eBay are like overpriced or what.
Look at the colouring on that. See, it's like a comic book.
That is
It
sort
looks
of-
like it's come to life. Yeah, it's like all that like cell shaded almost, but it looks
yeah,
sick.
and it's the same. It's the same with the Stranger film Destiny. Where
Yeah.
when I've got that one's just there.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, when
but-
you get into the larger scale stuff, honestly, Steve, it's like It's just easier for them to do a better job at it, I suppose.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know,
That was
like, 'cause
100. That was 112 quid
yeah,
for the Prime statue.
yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, like this, yeah. I mean, the Cara Dune like premium formats do range, but for a new one, you are probably looking at like when it first came out. I think it would have been around the £600 to £700 mark.
Wow.
But then obviously when they become like this is limited to 2,500 pieces. So obviously like it all depends. Like some of them go up in value, some of them don't. But like a lot of them tend to kind of hold their value. They're like because obviously they're not as readily available. You know it's a niche thing, isn't it? And yeah, I'm just hooked. I just think the detail. I mean like. Her hand just pops off. It's all held in by magnets, but like, just look at the detail on the gun there, man. Like, it's bonkers. It's like
I think Becca needs to be a bit worried that the fact that these are not cheap at all.
Yeah, they go for silly money. Like I got a really good deal though. Like, I wouldn't have gotten this if it was anywhere near like obviously. Like, I got this.
I was looking at a Marvel, Diamond Select Transformers range. They released the Transformers range in 2007, and I was looking at a Galvatron figure, and it's the scene from the movie where he's stood there and he's got his arm up and stuff, and he wanted £190 for him. And I was like, how do I justify spending £190 on a statue?
I tell you how, you just look at the more expensive stuff, and then it's not as bad.
That'll be an easy. If you look at any of these, and we're like, actually, 190 is a steal.
I found the Prime one that was $4,000, and I was like, yes, I've
if
got
money
to have
was
that
no
one.
object, honestly, like there's a Transformer statue, you know, Barricade, right?
Yeah.
Prime One Studios, I think they're called. They do a Barricade, and it's like it's a huge piece. Like it comes in 2 boxes. It's got like the base, the actual figure. I think you're looking at about $2.5 grand for something like that.
Well, Prime does the Soundwave.
Yeah.
And
the Soundwave. Yeah, and you get like the extra figures on the base.
Rumble and Frenzy and
so awesome.
And Ravage. Yeah. My God, mate, that would have to go in the garden. The size of that, the price.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I would almost give up all my collection to have one piece like that because I kind of feel like just having this, right? I've been putting like NECA figures next to it and stuff like that, and I'm like, they just look. I mean, NECA's great. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm hooked on this scale. It's like. And I would like to go bigger. Like I can imagine when people get the 3rd scale stuff, like you know, because this is the low end of like premium format, really, because it's a simpler statue. But in America, like these prices are like, you know, people pay that standard like $500-600 for a premium format easy. Like, you know, it's big business.
I paid for a Laurie Strode, but it's the gift that keeps giving, the present that keeps giving, because every time I look at it, I have to use this as well.
Wow.
Okay.
Where there you go. It pays for itself, doesn't it? I mean.
Yeah, I suppose it does. I don't know. Where do I go with that now? Thanks, Funky.
You've thrown them there. You've thrown them.
100%.
You know, but see, did you see the NECA Lancer that I picked up the other week?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And it makes noises and stuff like that.
So cool.
It should do for that bloody price. It should
So
actually
do
buy
I.
it.
But like I say though, for that Soundwave with Rumble and Frenzy and Ravage, it was $4.5 grand. My classic.
But that's because it's gone up. It wouldn't have been that much at launch, it's like you've got to pre-order those really.
Yeah.
And it would have still been expensive, but it would have been about half that, I think.
Yeah.
It was probably about $2,000 at launch,
Well,
which is still
I was
ridiculous money.
showing-
We're talking about a statue here, but
I was showing little Steve when he stayed at ours once, a Warhammer Warlord Titan,
yeah.
and the guys were painting it, and when it got round and they were adding up the cost, it was like £1,200 for this resin Warhammer statue, and it was
Crazy.
like Christ. But like I say though, those statues I've paid less for cars.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know,
yeah.
I've had cars for 300, 400 quid,
Yeah.
and I'm
Now
looking
you're
at
paying for
these
statues,
for
yeah.
yeah.
It's bonkers, isn't it? But do you know what? It's the little things, isn't it? It's like the little things are what do it for you. And I
But
kind
to
of
be
think
fair, the statues I'm getting here now,
Yeah.
these ones, the couple I've bought off you and whatever else, they're making Lana less anxious when she walks in the room. Do you know, because they're not little and they're not all collecting dust and stuff like that, and it's not. Plus, it's making the room look really
yeah,
good.
your display looks easier to look at, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like when you don't have as many smaller items, it's easier to look at your display. Have you seen my 3.0? Well, it's not mine. It's my daughter's 3.0 Blitzwing.
No,
I'll show you. This is a thing of art. This is a thing of art. I'm going to show you. This thing is friggin'. Yeah, I've got to show you this. Hold on, guys.
ladies
Hold
and gentlemen, welcome to Movie Chat's show and tell.
Yeah, this is like just geek out. This is. This is just geek out. Honestly, I can't wait to show you this because this is the sweet spot between statue and
Wait,
figure.
and
Oh God! Hold on.
Luke's asking about the Thanos behind you. That's the Thanos bust, isn't it? It's not a mask; it's the actual.
Yeah, it's just a
itself.
bust. Yeah, that's a bust. That is, but it's cool though, right? Okay.
Oh my God! Look at
Okay.
that.
Now,
it
the thing
seems
with
like
this is,
your daughter's figure is in your room there, Z.
well, she allowed me to display it in the cabinet. I said to her, "Does she want it back?" And she's quite happy for me to display it here.
So that's
she
the
hasn't got much
Blitzwing
room
from
in
the
her bedroom.
Bumblebee movie, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the sweet spot because it's articulated, but the amount of detail on him is just, honestly, like, just look at his. You could just spend ages just looking at his, like, the detail there on his legs there, just insane.
How much did that cost, if you don't mind me asking?
This is the retail. I think is about 180-ish or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably, or a bit more than that. I'd say retail, but yeah. I got it obviously from wholesale, and it was worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. It's just so cool. I love stuff like that. Like it's these things make your day better. I think
It seems like a present you bought for yourself, really, if I'm honest.
it's not, honestly. I've also got. She's even let me display her Alduin from Elder Scrolls.
Right.
Ooh.
I've got a few friends now that have that
Have
run
you?
toy shops online and stuff like that, and they all seem to have these wholesalers, but no one ever offers me anything at wholesale prices, which is I'm sort of wondering what it is that I'm doing wrong here.
Breathing?
You just have to ask, isn't it, mate? Just ask. I'll sort you out. I'll sort you out something, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I need to start tapping into that sort of resource. Yeah.
You don't need that at all. You've got money than sense.
But like I say though, the bigger statues and the limited edition stuff as well. Do you know, the collectibles from games and stuff like that? That's where I've sort of gone into. Like I say, I've got the Numbskull limited edition for the Stranger from Destiny, and I just happened to walk into James's store, Starbase, when someone was trading it in, and he didn't even see what he had before I was giving him money for it. You know,
That's just
and
it. I think I think like it's nice when you have like a rough idea where you want to take your collections to. But
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, I'm definitely smitten. I'm kind of glad I got this because I knew I was going to end up keeping it. I lied to myself and said, it's such a good price, I'm going to make a fat profit on this, because if I sold this for, if I sold this for even like 500 or something, or even 400, I'd be making like an insane profit. Like, so I'd be quite happy with it. But like that's what I said to myself when I got it. But I think I knew I was going to unbox it, so obviously that was going to affect the value. And then
The second you open that box, you were like, well, I better
it's
keep it
switch
now,
gone now.
really.
The value's gone now, so
There's
it's
not really much
I was like,
point.
looks like I have to keep it on. You know, I knew I was going to do that anyway. I
Oh
just
no,
knew
Beck,
it. It was,
the box is opened by itself.
yeah,
So Monkey, are you into your statue collecting then? Do you? Apart from games and films and stuff like that, what's your guilty pleasure when it comes to like figure collecting?
I will show you, but first I want to show you what I'm after right now. It's tough to track these down, but I'll show you what figures I want right now, and that is the ones from this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want to get all these, but they're hard to track down.
I actually saw a video about a dude who was trying to get the two female figurines, the two characters from that series, and he had a real nightmare trying to get hold of it because he pre-ordered and the company didn't make with the delivery, and then he had some real big like story to tell. But I was immersed in his story and how he got these statues. It's so cool.
I'll be back in a second.
No worries.
I remember the original Blade game on the Xbox. That was from the first movie.
Yeah, I got that on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Nice. No, if it's based on the original, I would be like really like loving to play that, like a modern Blade game.
Yeah, that's true, Dave.
So what have you got your eyes on coming up then? See what releases are there in that I need to be keeping that I need to keep my eye out for?
No, I think we're talking figures
like
now.
Figures and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like the Fallout stuff on pre-order, but that's not out till the end of the year. The Miles Morales as well. I'll be hopefully getting the Living Dead doll Wednesday Addams dancing one. You know, that's
oh wow!
Cringy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's kind of cringy. But like, yeah, like I don't know. I think there's always something coming. There's so much stuff, honestly. Like it's kind of just what isn't coming out. Do you know what I mean? Like it's I just wish I had like the money to buy it all. It's just
that's true.
It's constant. It's constant. But there's loads of cool stuff. It all depends where you want to take your collection, really, doesn't it? I mean, like, there's some really good Hot Toys deals out there as well. You know, you can get some certain Hot Toys now for really good prices as well.
Yeah.
So I might be getting like a cool Iron Man. You know, but like when he's testing out, you know, the Hot Toys deal one where he's in his normal clothes, where he's like building the robotics. I think Tony Stark looks sick, stuff like that. But I don't know. There's loads of stuff. Geek Out with Dave says, I have a few Hot Toys. Unfortunately, need a lottery win to buy more. That's the thing. It's like, I can imagine Hot Toys is the same thing because you think, like, you know, that's all I want to collect now. But then when every time you want to make an addition to your collection, it's going to cost you like a couple £100 minimum. It suddenly becomes very stressful.
It comes to a point where I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, will it go with what I've got now? Will it better what I've got now? And B, can I justify the price of it? Because when I was just picking up Transformers for £20 and putting it on the shelf and she didn't even notice I had another one, I could get away with that. But when it's like another statue or something like that, and it is going to stand out, you know. And that's when you're looking at price tags of stuff, and I'm like, I'd really want that, and it'll look okay. The Marvel Select Grimlock looks absolutely amazing, but again, because it's a 2007 statue,
the value of it is just I think like when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, I'd rather just wait and get something that's new at a reasonable price. I kind of feel like the overpricing of stuff that's older is just a bit. It's too rich for me. Like. You know, just personally speaking, like I'd rather get something new at like the normal price rather than pay an arm and a leg, because eventually they will redo it. Do you know what I mean? Eventually, it will come out again through someone else or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I kind of feel like that. So I'm always a little bit, you know, I think where it becomes harder though is like when you're, like you say, with the larger pieces, they do it less frequently. Yeah. It's not like when you go down to like your normal action figures, they are constantly re-releasing them, and there's never a shortage. But when you start getting into like the bigger statues, the kind of more premium companies, they are obviously much less likely to redo a cast or whatever. So yeah,
I think. Sorry, Monkey, go on.
A interesting example is the Ninja Turtle line. They recently redid the Ninja Turtle original line, but they were collectors are able to tell that there are differences in them. Yeah. That they do not look exactly like the 89 line. They've made different changes to them. So yes, they may release them, but they will change a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
I think just like they've done that with Ghostbusters, obviously Star Wars. I'm the kind of person that would be happy to accept the minor change and pay 20 quid as opposed to pay like. Personally, I like that. I think it's good when companies do that because it gives people that can't afford to buy like an original, you know, like 10 back or whatever from the 80s. If they can't afford that, it gives them something that looks almost the same and still gives them, like for me, like I suppose I look at it also from like the selling side, have obviously with the website and everything. For me, the value is in like the nostalgia, the smile. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what it's for me. Like anything I want in my collection, I kind of like, does it make me smile? And if it does, that's the value.
Oh no! Well, as soon as I walk into this room every morning, I've got a big smile on my face because I spot something. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, and it's just, you know, I know I've had it and it's there and whatever else. You know, it could be just something dead straightforward, like the
laptop,
the boxed Mars Attacks figure.
Yeah, that's cool.
That still talks.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And I've got up there, I've got the original release of the Next Generation talking figures, and they're still boxed. Yeah. So, you know, just stuff like that. And every now and then something will catch my eye and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I forgot I had that. Or, you know, just remember buying it. There's a story behind it.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the re-release of the War and Fall of Cybertron games that's coming out, the remasters of them, will probably kick in the the Diamond Select figures again. Because the Diamond Select figures were based on those games. Yeah. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed,
they're going to do like a
we get like a re-release of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All of my Captain Carter figures and statues and stuff makes me happy, but I will say it's always best to get figures that just make you want to get something else with it. Hey. Figures that make you use this are the only ones to buy.
They're the only ones. There's a lot of those out there. There's some, honestly, some of the stuff.
Is that what's in the cardboard box behind you? Is it, Z?
Dudes, honestly, some of the stuff you can get is, I mean, like.
And on that note, check out Only Cool Things online.
I don't stock it. Yeah, I don't stock it. Like, you can get some seriously serious stuff. Like, you know, they have swappable parts, so you can display them in different ways. And honestly, they're kind of crazy. But you know, there's a big market for it. I mean, she's lovely. There's a big market for it. It's expensive as well, though.
Is that what Dave means by fear of missing out?
Yeah. The FOMO.
And then, do you ever go down the weird route?
What? That wasn't weird.
That wasn't.
No. You have this, and then you have.
We don't want to get monkey. We don't want to get cancelled off YouTube.
Okay. I'm just saying you have that and then you put a certain figure behind it like this.
Just can't.
That's retro. That's very retro.
And it has the tail.
Oh. So which way is it facing?
Steve, I feel like we should just leave Z and Monkey do it for a bit.
Right. So,
Oh my lord!
right.
Sorry about this.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just waiting for you to pull her out the cupboard, mate, with the bicycle pump. That'll be.
You want me to pull out what?
No.
Don't encourage this. Oh god.
Oh my lord! I'll tell you what, Monkey. You never know what you're going to come up with on this show, do you?
Oh my god! I thought
You never want me to come.
I don't, come back.
I thought you could never beat calling little Steve Popeye the other week, but yeah, you.
Yeah, but you look like
did see. Oh, I did see that you changed his image to Popeye.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
That made me smile.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I've got a T-shirt downstairs that Jeff got me, so I have to wear it now. Bit of Popeye on it, and it's your fault.
Well, did you hear that they want Will Smith to play Popeye now?
There's a slight problem with that.
Is he too old?
Yeah,
Ah.
and he's not really got the physique for Popeye, has he?
I don't know. I haven't seen Bad Boys 4 yet. I've seen a lot of trailers for it.
See, are you looking forward to Bad Boys 4?
I've not even seen 3. I've seen the first, obviously the first one. Second one I thought was funny as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the third one. I've not seen the third one, so I've not even.
Are you just not sort of fancying it, or is it just not around to it?
I'm not sure. Like, what did you guys think of the third one? Was it up to par? I mean,
I thought it was okay, but there's a lot of people that have said that it's nowhere near as good as the other two.
Nope.
I mean, the second one was hilarious. Like,
Yes.
well, yeah, second one was brilliant.
Oh,
Like,
the second one.
The second one was excellent. First one was obviously amazing, but third one I've not even. Yeah, I think you get like lethargy. You kind of think like, you know, I've enjoyed this. Do I need do you need another one? I kind of feel like it's not compelling, is it? It's not compelling view. It's not like you can understand when they keep on bringing out Transformers or when they keep bringing out Star Wars, when they keep bringing out Predator or Alien, because those characters are compelling and people will always want to see more of them, even if it's done badly. I think Bad Boys is not a strong enough franchise to like have, because it's not even like even in its prime, it wasn't like ever as good a movie as something like obviously Die Hard.
So
No.
Yeah.
I have a really good example. Like back when we kept having Friends, we kept getting season after season. The later seasons, were they as good? No, but everybody still watched them because, like you said, it was that kind of feeling that you got.
Yeah, it was compelling. You wanted to see more of the guys. You wanted to see more Monica, Chandler, and Joey, and whatever. You know what I mean? Like you wanted to. So even though it wasn't quite as good.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there not Beverly Hills Cop 4 as well?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
See,
Are you gonna get to see a lot of screen time of him? Nope.
I just feel that's weird. I feel like they're just.
I mean, to be fair, looking at the posters for it or the pictures for it, I think Eddie Murphy is one of those people that he doesn't massively age.
He doesn't, but it's not about that. It's about he's not in the same place. He's not that hungry and funny guy that he was in the 80s. Like he's like
he's meat Dave.
I think anything after what was it like after Nutty Professor? He was just Nutty Professor was That
Yeah.
was him
Who
going
saw-
fully Hollywood, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
then
Who
I
saw
know.
him
No.
in? Imagine this, where he had
No.
the fascination with a baby blanket, and then there was Meet Dave.
There
and then-
was. I'm just trying to think now. There was
Because
an Eddie
Norbert,
movie.
He did Norbert. He did a couple of other films, but like I don't know. And I tell you one film that you're talking about Beverly Hills Cop and talking about Die Hard and talking about Bad Boys. A film that really did surprise me and was brilliant was Lethal Weapon 4. I think.
I love
even
that
though it was
one. I
even though
love
it was the fourth movie, it was Chris Rock in it was brilliant. Joe Pesci was equally as funny as Chris Rock, if not funnier in that. And even Mel Gibson and like they were just it was a perfect movie of its genre, like that.
But that
for
just
me,
brought a close to Lethal Weapon to a point where you're thinking
you can't get better than it. Was hilarious. Jet Li just blew everyone's mind. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I still remember the funny, the laughing gas moment with Benny. Like, come on, one of the funniest scenes.
Right.
Yeah, like, yeah. That has to be one of the best movies of its type. And it kind of, for me, I think it's like, when you do something like that, that's like you said, that's a closing moment. Because Lethal Weapon, you would have argued, deserves to be carrying on because it was so great. Like the fact that the 4 was for me, the 4 was like the best one.
Yeah, that laughing gas scene was amazing with Benny when he was just like, just don't tell my wife why, because I'm sleeping with her sister.
That was so funny.
But you just didn't expect that to come out of
so funny
of that scene. But going back to Bad Boys 3,
yeah,
you could see Bad Boys 3 try to tune into some of that, and where Lethal Weapon was sort of setting up Chris Rock if he wanted to go off and do his own sort of Lethal Weapon with the son that he was marrying and all that sort of stuff, that could go ahead. Bad Boys tried that when you brought in the younger cops to sort of work alongside them as like the super squad type of thing. And then they've sort of, by the looks of the 4th film, they've sort of knocked that sort of avenue on the head. And it's just like, we don't need a 4th film with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. But we don't need a Bad Boys spin-off, like a Bad Boys saga type thing, like with Mad Max either.
We had that with a sister. There is a sequel TV series to Bad Boys that stars Jessica Alba and the sister from Lethal Weapon 4. Sorry. Bad Boys 4. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It's just, you don't. Oh, and you want to know the weird thing? It has Ernie Hudson in it. The Ghostbuster is in it.
I see. Luke's put a comment there. He's looking forward to I Am Legend 2 because it's now been confirmed. But that's Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan. And I don't know if I need a sequel to I Am Legend 2 because that's going to get rid of the better sequel, the better ending to the film. I think that it's got dual endings to that, whichever one that he dies and one that he doesn't die, and he releases the woman that he had captive back into.
I don't know. There might be 2 alternate versions: one where he doesn't die and one where he's not in it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It doesn't exist.
Why we need the second one, because it's gonna neglect the better ending to the film.
I think we don't need them at all. I prefer the book. Who remembers the book that came out way back?
I can't read, so I don't do books.
He only looks at pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I have some magazines that might be up your alley.
Let me guess what they come with.
Oh, come? Yes.
They're all laminated.
I won't say nothing.
Okay, what's the subject tonight? I've got no idea, Dave. I swear to God.
As long as they're not water damaged when they arrive.
How are you doing anyway, Dave? Not seen you for a while, mate.
It wouldn't
Hey,
be
Dave.
water damage.
Oh God.
Bloody hell.
They look like
Am
they've been
I
left
too
out.
much? That's the question.
Left out with.
Mate. No, you're not. You're a breath of fresh air, mate. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Oh, God. Right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a day there. Unless there's something else that someone wants to finish the show on.
Well, I finally found the slipcover.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So-
That's your Alice in Wonderland thing from last week,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
When I went to show you guys the copy that I had, I was thinking, where is the slipcover? And so I finally found it.
Nice one.
Yeah, I do have a question to ask you both. All three of you, and that it's appropriate. It's appropriate. It is. Can somebody explain to me the last episode of Doctor Who? It confused the fuck out of me.
I'll be honest, Doctor Who just isn't my thing at all. I don't get it. I don't understand why anyone would watch it. It just looks terrible. So probably that's just my opinion. I just don't care for it. So I'm out of that.
Baz has put there that Alice in Borderlands was better. Yes, I really enjoyed Alice in Borderlands. When that first release, that came out before Squid Games, and I'd watched that before Squid Games.
My God, it's like his claim to fame.
It is my claim to fame.
I saw it before anybody else. I remember getting a message off Netflix saying I was the first person to ever view it.
I was the trendsetter, and I loved it, and I loved it. I loved the way that he ended. Will you shut the fuck up?
Actually, speaking of Squid Games,
yeah,
that is something that I don't understand why it needs a second season. I'm looking forward to it.
Same. Yeah.
Like I was more than satisfied with the first season. I think it ended strongly. It completed the story as far as I was concerned at that point.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see obviously what they do, but I thought it was an incredibly good story, incredibly well told, strong all the way through. Like literally, I found it to be one of the more stressful but enjoyable shows to watch. In a weird way, it gave me vibes of when I watched certain episodes of Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. The really good, emotionally charged episodes where you're watching it, you're enjoying it, but you're also feeling almost exhausted because of how good it is.
It's that bit with the marbles and stuff like that when you realise what's going on, and then he's obviously having that emotional sort of.
It was a heavy show.
But
in a good way.
You get the bit where the girl's wounded towards the end, and then the other bloke stabbed her, and he doesn't realise that's happening until they come in to take her away, and it's stuff like that. But Alice in Borderlands did it really, really well in season 2, where they sort of upped the ante a little bit, and it was different. You got that same feel from the first one, but it was a different sort of twist in the second series. It was the same characters working their way through it, and they upped the ante there for him. Do you think something like Squid Games, where they're going to have to redesign games because you're not going to get the same games, you're not going to get the same sort of emotional twist?
See, that's what makes me worry, because when you said that, it just instantly took me back to The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The first few episodes or the first few seasons, I get better and better and better, and they push it and push it and push it, and it gets to the point where, for me, I enjoyed Negan, and especially his opening episodes, I enjoyed them. But for me, the show peaked in terms of where do you go from this factor. For me, it peaked when Carol was with those two girls.
Yeah.
And for me, that episode has got to be probably the best episode of the series, first of all. And also, emotionally, I was like, wow, they've taken this to they've really reached into dark places. Like because of Carol's backstory as a mother herself, having lost her daughter and then coming across these kids and looking after them, and then to see what the world has done to these to this poor girl, and then the consequences. Like for me, like I was like, after that, you could see when they did Negan and Negan's entrance, all they were doing is trying to top themselves at that point. And I kind of feel like that's where I'm worried that Squid Game is going to go, because Squid Game's ramped it up and up and up and up, and you're like, they're just going to be chasing their own tails, and they're going to just try to, like you said, like you used up. What did you say about Borderlands, where they like upped the ante? I kind of feel like that's a real like. It just sounds. It gives me vibes of bigger, badder, better kind of. You know, like 90s blockbuster attitude. We'll just add more explosions, a bigger budget, and that will make it better. And in some cases it did, like Terminator 2, although you can argue again those are it's a completely different film to the first one.
But just going back to your Walking Dead thing though, when they watered down Negan, because now obviously we had two really good
that didn't
series.
sell it to me. Exactly, that's the thing, that didn't work.
We had two really good series of Negan being the bad guy, but then obviously when they captured him and they watered him down, we got glimpses of it. We got glimpses of him being good again, and then he come back into his own with the whole Alpha. So when he was going up against Alpha, and the Whisperers,
it was messy though, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like it was like I didn't buy it. Like I bought the world. Like I bought it all the way up until but I think it's just difficult when you've got a show that is. It almost feels like certain shows like play their cards up front, like quite early on. Yeah. Like, like like when you see a movie trailer and they show the best bit in the trailer, and then you go to the
100%, yeah. All 3 minutes of the trailer.
Yeah, the 3 minutes have the best bits, and then I kind of feels like too many shows do that nowadays, where they put all their cards out, but then they expect the audience to then stay invested for another 3 or 4 or 5 seasons.
Can you put me big screen?
Yeah, we do that.
You will see.
Do you want to see? Is the question.
He's moved location. This is why I'm worried.
Oh my god! How many copies of Twist?
I had to prove it.
Wow.
What was it? 147 copies at last count, wasn't it, Monkey?
Mm-hmm.
Is that VHS or DVD? Are they VHS? They look like VHS.
Yeah.
No way.
He bought every copy of Twister VHS that's been in existence.
Wow. That's what can you say? I mean...
Zero copies of Twister has ever gone to landfill.
Thanks to the monkey. Wow. I'm impressed in a weird way.
You should be.
That's such a brilliant thing to collect.
Only the ET game was as lucky.
I don't know. I like you say, I sort of fell in. I sort of took the piss a little bit when I heard they had 147 versions of the same film. But it's not even different versions of the film. It's the same version of the film.
Yeah, but you could decorate a room with it, clearly.
Yeah.
No wallpaper needed there.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
147 copies of the same film. I don't know. Yeah.
He's waiting for that day where someone comes round and says, I could really do with watching Twister.
On VHS.
And VHS.
He's a big Helen Hunt fan.
Aha, yes. The big Helen Hunt fan, yeah.
How many statues? No, that's different, Luke. It's not like I've got 147 versions of the same statue.
No, just Transformers.
Yeah. I've got quite a few statues and figures and stuff like that. And however, I do own 6 different sound waves. But they are different. They're not the same sound wave.
Do they look the same? Are they of the same character?
They are the same character. Yes, different versions of the character. Though,
Yeah,
too.
I think you can have different versions of the same character.
It's just like you having 8 versions of Dirty Dancing because
I
it's
knew
all the same
that was
film.
the second this brought it up.
It's-
I knew he was going to say
Look,
that.
it's just like the 10-year anniversary, the 15-year anniversary, the 20-year anniversary. It's the same fucking film.
I knew
Just
you were going to say that.
you might just get a used piece of watermelon in the 40th anniversary. You know,
I'm gonna make a move now, guys, but I just want to say I enjoyed watching The Black Phone as well.
Yeah, that's
Watch that.
amazing. That I can't wait for the
watched
second
that
one. Second one will be good.
Are you taking the mic? There's not a second one, is there?
Yeah, Black Phone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I was like, that
I haven't
is-
seen it.
Oh, it's good. It's
I was
worth
more of a
watch.
fan of Black Mirror.
Black Mirror is amazing.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Black Mirror is good. Yeah. Guys,
Miley
I've got to make a
Cyrus's
move, though.
best
I'm gonna keep
performance.
watching.
Thanks, buddy. Take care of yourself. Thanks for
See you
coming
later,
on, man.
Z.
So I have a question. Are you saying that you think it's bad that I have so many copies?
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's bad that you got so many copies of the film. I just thought when you originally told me that you had 147. Well, no, sorry, I changed that. You never told me because I wasn't on the stream when you were discussing this. You were on
When
the
you
stream.
heard,
Yeah, you were on the stream with little Steve when you mentioned it first, and I watched it back, and I did find it a bit strange that you had so many copies of the same movie. But then you explained why you had so many copies of the same movie. It was something to do about that you've never had you've never been affected by a twister or something while you're over there, if I remember the story correctly. So it's not that I think it's bad. I just it just took a little bit getting used to that someone had 147 copies of the same film. Does that make sense? Oh, have we lost him?
I think he's still trying to process what you said.
He's on mute.
All right, fair enough. Well, we need to start
Hold on.
coming to it. No.
Hold on. So aside from what I showed you, I do got this version
Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
on blue, and then I got this version still sealed, as you can tell, and it's a snapper case.
So the snapper cases.
Yeah, and then I got another one. See, and it has a sticker, so you know it's different. And then
Yes,
Another one?
see.
another one, another one, another one.
Hmm.
My original copy. See, it's all bent up and all that. It has a glare
Yeah.
to it. So yeah. So yes, I do have all the VHS copies, but as you see, I have a lot of the others too. of it.
It's not strange. It's not strange that you got so many copies of the same film.
Uh-huh.
It just when you say that to somebody for the first time, you must always get that reaction. Why have you got so many of the same film? You know, it's just not something that you hear every day, is it?
Well, they just look and then they're quiet.
You melted the brain by telling them. That's why.
It takes a second to process why
No.
someone's got so many of the
Oh.
same thing.
I show my collection and then they stop talking for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But you probably gotta get going. But if I may say, I find it very humorous that the last few times you've wanted to shut it down, it's with what, an hour later each time.
Yep, I'm getting the feeling to this now.
It is. I am sort of getting used to being up after 9 o'clock now on these streams. It's yeah.
Nobody's getting the less sleep he needs.
Yeah. I don't need as much beauty sleep now as I used to.
Well,
I'm more distinguished now.
Well, I think that I will go do another video in a bit about my 13th or 14th viewing of this one. But if
Yeah, you've
you're
got to go and do
wondering,
that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just to clarify, are you watching Adam's Family Values every day for a year?
That's what I'm doing, and I'm documenting every single day. If you look at my channel, you'll see every single day I've done a video, and you will see how it's affected me. And even on my most recent post, saying my most favorite summer horror film, you will see how I was right after watching my latest viewing of Adam's Family Values. You will see me moments after watching it.
So do you see things differently on each viewing?
Yes, in my episodes, I am dictating each difference that I'm seeing. Each thing my mind picks up on. I am talking about, like, one day it was a score, one day it was taking a shit, and I heard like the theme, like a score or so, like things like that. Like it's like every day every viewing I'm picking up something different of it or out of it, and it's I will say, if you watch me from episode 1 till like the most recent one, you can tell it's affecting me. But the thing is that I'm but no, not in that way. No, I don't go Chuck E. Cheese, mister. I don't go Chuck E. Cheese. As I've stated in one of my other videos, it's like how she is, how Wednesday Addams is in that one. It's like you can tell she's gonna turn out she's gonna turn out to be like, hold on, it's around here. What's it?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
She's going to turn out to be like Dakota, what's her face, Johnson.
But only if she was like,
right. Okay.
So it's like from the point of the point where she gets to the camp till the end of the film, it's like all those lines that she says really sticks out to me. And as what if the movie continued, what type of person she would grow into, and that is the type of person that made me the way that I am. And so I'm doing that thing to show that I love it, that I love the movie the most. But because of that, that's how I can handle watching it all these times, because you can't get tired of your past. You can't get tired of traumatic memories. You can't escape them. You can't get rid of them. Just like in Twister, you can't escape what made you the way that you are. And that's why I'm able to do this. And I am proving to everybody that no one loves it more than me. But I did pay the price for it, I mean, it just, and I hope that doesn't make me too awkward.
No, everyone each to their own, mate. I sort of applaud you for the commitment to watch the same film every day for a year. It's it's just one of those things I don't hear very often.
Yeah.
I can watch a film probably once a month, once every other month, and but not every day for a year.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. So many times I kept hearing people say, "Oh, I love this film. I love this film," and then one day I was like, but how, you say that, but can you prove it? So I'm proving it. I'm proving it that I love it more than anybody else.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll let you get off. And
sorry, fellas. I'm sorry.
All right. No, don't apologize. It's 9:45. It's 9:45 in the evening over here. So I do need to get some sleep before work in the morning.
Take care, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on another week on Movie Chats. It's been a good conversation. Monkey, thank you for joining us here. I know you just disappeared. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome anytime. Z, join us whenever you
Thank you, buddy. Yeah.
And it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Little Steve, not so much.
Yeah, same to you.
Actually, I was going to say I'll see you next week, but I won't see you for 2 weeks.
I know. It's going to be weird, isn't it?
What have you got in store for the viewers for the next 2 weeks, sir?
Quality content instead of this. I don't know, mate. We'll see. I'm going to try and put something together.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Right, night, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.